Hello, my name is Joe Wilson Jr., and I am playing the role of Judd Fry in Trinity Rep's production of Oklahoma. And I wanted a chance to be able to talk to anybody who's watching this video about the controversy that surrounded our production over the past few days. Judd Fry is the quintessential sort of villain character as we think about characters in theater and especially in the musical theater. But upon further research in the role, there were things that I learned about Judd Fry and about the history of this musical, in that this musical is based upon a story which highlights a group of people who were living in Oklahoma Territory, which was in the midst of Native American territory. And the character of Judd Fry, and this is not me making this up, but this is in the text, is referred to in terms of the color of his skin. He's referred to as being this bullet-colored gentleman. And so the idea of Judd Fry being this outsider is not rooted in because he was a growly man, or rooted in maybe he was a little antisocial, but this man was an outsider, and an outsider because of who he was racially. The main song that Judd sings, "A Lonely Room," is often cut from the production. And that's the very song that gives him his humanity, that gives him his voice. That's the song where we understand what this man needs. And really, I think it's what takes this man out of being simply a villain, but a character who behaves in a certain way because he wants certain things. And he wants what Curly wants, and he wants what Lori wants, and that's to be loved and to be accepted and to be a part of a community. But because of his skin color and because of being systematically ostracized and looked down upon in this community, has developed characteristics that have allowed him to cope with who and what he is, to protect himself. And while others perceive that as him being antisocial or strange or weird, that's Judd Fry trying to protect himself in the midst of what is a very hostile environment. It's loaded when you have a white guy telling an African-American man that you can hang yourself. We have a painful history in this country of lynchings and of that kind of murder. In Oklahoma at that time, there were hundreds of lynchings of people. And so it's a very powerful image. And, you know, I think that it's also important to state that we as artists, we take responsibility for these images. That nothing that we do is random or haphazard. That we literally sit around a table, we sit around a room, we're on our feet in a room, and we have hard discussions about the kind of story that we're telling. And we're taking responsibility for every image you see, every line we say, every sound cue you hear, every lighting choice, everything is, this is not random. That we have responsibility as artists. And so we didn't take my casting as Judd Fry very lightly. And obviously with the way that we handled the end of our production, we wanted our audience to be able to sit in this death. That this death has a price and a cost. And oftentimes in this production, by casting Judd Fry as a white man, the death of that character doesn't have a cost. And he's able to be written off as a villain. And everyone seems to forget that this man, if they would have left this man alone, he may still be alive. He didn't start this fight in the context of this play. And so I think having a black actor play that part, or an actor of color play that part, I think it's a not so subtle reminder to the audience that if it does echo contemporary themes, I think that's the function of theater. The function of theater is to, within, whether it's a new play or a classic story, to provide us ways to not sit back and to simply be a spectator in the story, but to be a participant in that story. This institution is proud of the kids that we've educated. We're proud of the careers that we've nurtured. Tony Award winners, Tony Award nominees, Drama Desk winners. We're proud of the theater companies that have been formed as a result of the processes and training that young people have received here. We're proud of having a resident acting company and providing a space for actors to both succeed and fail. We're proud that we provide a space for other arts organizations to either produce or to support their productions through our resources. we're proud of those things. Misconception, especially with a casting like this, that somehow African American actors are being whitewashed. It was a very funny story. Obviously, we've been dealing with lots of protests and discussions around this casting over this opening weekend. And our artistic director Kirk Columbus was having a discussion with the patron as people began getting wind of what was going on at the theater. And she mentioned, and I'm going to say this, and some folks may take offense to it, but hear me out. She mentioned that, when we see Joe, we see a great actor, and I never see color. And I laughed at that because whenever I approach a role, I approach every role from my prism of being an African American man. I can't, that's all I am. The life that I've lived, the experiences that I've had are all shaped through this body, this black body. And so when people say that I'm denying that, I say that's impossible for me to do. And the beautiful thing about being a black actor playing the role of Judd Fry is what I can uniquely bring to the experience of understanding what it means to be on the outside. What I can bring as a gay actor, what it means to be on the outside, what it means to want to have love and not know how to get it, to be in a society where there's nothing supporting me getting what I need to feel secure and safe. So I think there's also a power for an audience and a power in what I'm able to bring to the role I think is special and unique, and I hope that comes through in my portrayal of this character, and ultimately creating a full, living, breathing human being that has a point of view, a valid point of view, and a point of view that we're not able to just write him off and say, well, he's a villain, but that this is a person with wants and needs and desires, and you can label what I choose to do and my methods of getting what I want as being dastardly or wrong or violent, but ultimately we all want the same things. And so that's why I think it's a great gift to play this part, to be able to put my soul and being into that man, and to hopefully that manifests itself in a much fuller portrayal of this character.